Are real estate agents in danger? With everything unfolding in the industry, in the courts, and then in the technological world we're living in with AI, I mean, is there even going to be a place for real estate agents and brokers in the future? Or is there going to be a way that we can position ourselves to be able to take everything that's happening, and instead of it being something that works towards our detriment, for it to be something that actually serves us in our industry well as a whole? Well, in this video, I'm going to share my thoughts on that. And if you're new to the channel, my name's Tyler Roicki. I help people build income and wealth in real estate, and I run an international real estate team at eXp Realty. If you get any value whatsoever out of this video, all I'd ask is that you hit that subscribe button so that I can continue to share more tips and resources with you in the time ahead. That being said, let's dive right into the video. So there's two really big things happening in our industry. One has been playing out the past few years, and one has hit the headlines more recently. So more recent thing has been these commission lawsuits, these big court rulings, and everything that's playing out with that. You even have some large brokerages settling. But what it all boils down to is a lack of transparency, and that's kind of the bottom line. Is it's coming out in the courts that it appears that we as an industry have an opportunity to be more transparent. And the issue really boils down to the fact that our industry is full of independent contractors, and as independent contractors, agents operate their business in their own way in a major sense. And unfortunately, there's far too many people in our industry that are not having as much in the way of that upfront consultation as they should have with every single client, namely buyers. I see this all the time with real estate agents working with buyers, especially those who are newer to the industry, is they seemingly skip the buyer's consultation. And some of them they actually do skip it all the time. And someone who's been around the industry, who's a professional, it is possible to navigate everything you would need to review with the buyers in a consultation. It is possible to navigate that in the dialogue you have as you begin to work with them. But a lot of people, as they're getting into this industry, they really need a framework to follow as far as what's covered, what's discussed, reviewing the agency agreements, and really all of the next steps in the process, setting the proper expectations. And also, as part of that, clearly defining where your compensation as an agent is coming from, and vice versa on the listing side of things. So there's arguments playing out in the court saying that sellers weren't made aware that they were paying both commissions. And there's also some argument too with the MLSs requiring, or having required, a lot of them have, that you input something in the way of buyer's agent's compensation. Really, commissions are negotiable, but at the end of the day, the big problem here is a lack of transparency, because if everything was fully transparent, if every single agent out there had the correct conversations, discussions, and covered their basis from the get-go, this wouldn't be as big of a problem as it is right now. So the way I see this playing out is, if anything, it's going to increase the standard as far as what you have to do up front and the bases you have to cover. So there's states, I believe it was Washington State, is now requiring that you have a buyer's agency agreement, or whatever they call it in the state, completed up front before you go forward and show buyers houses. At least that's what I understand was implemented. But to me, that should be a given. I mean, that's kind of the standard that me, and at least I teach the agents that I'm working directly with. It's like, hey, have that meeting up front. Don't put in all this work and not explain how everything works. No, have all that conversation up front, iron it out up front, get that agreement signed, and move forward with the process with the people who are serious about going about it. And when you do that, it's clear from that point onward where your commission comes from, among a lot of other important details in the process that someone's going to want to know if they're serious about moving forward with it. And so it might take just more of these suits playing out for that to become more of the norm and standard of the industry. It blows my mind that there's so many people in our industry that won't have these conversations and consultations up front, and instead they'll start just showing houses to people who reach out, like they either they're nervous to have the conversation up front in consultation, or they're just so excited to show houses and get someone under contract. But to me, that's never been the way to go about it. I've always been about being a professional about it and really setting the right expectations up front with every single person I've had the opportunity to work with. And that's what I teach my agents as well. Now, second piece of this conversation is what's happening with technology. This is nothing new, but it's been playing out over the course of time. And there's a common train of thought in the world around us that our industry is going to go the way of like travel agencies and others where you've had technology come in and completely take out the human element of things. And so how concerned should we be about that? And what should we do? Well, I'll tell you, my opinion is it's not something I'm very concerned about. In fact, the more I see agents in the business automating this, that, and the other, to the extent that it removes more of the human element, the more I believe there's opportunity for those who go about it in a way that really is focused on that person-to-person connectivity. Because I believe if you look into the data, it will support the idea that people want to have a person helping them through this process of this major purchase in their life. There may come a time where that's less of a case, but as of recent data that I've seen, it seems like we're at an all-time high as far as people that actually want to work with an agent versus any other alternatives in the process. So despite all the tech that's come out in the past few years, it hasn't really changed that element of our industry. So, I think this is a lot different than like someone going to the grocery store or a lot of other transactions you could have, because this is literally one of the biggest financial things. And for a lot of people, it is the biggest financial transaction they're going to be involved with in their lifetime. And there's something about having the right human element to that I believe there always will be a place for that. And even if there were to come a time where tech took a portion of the market share, I believe there's always going to be a place for the agents that are just absolutely exceptional at dealing with people and creating an experience for the people they're working with. Because that's how you build a massive business in this industry. It's like, yeah, you could lead generation, and that's something you should be doing to get your business off the ground. But the way you really keep growing and compounding that client base is through word of mouth. And word of mouth happens based on the experience that you create for the people you have the opportunity to work with. So I'm not concerned about technology. In fact, I believe utilized correctly in the sense of back-end task, managing transactions, stuff like that, even potentially blockchain as that plays out, that can actually put us in a position where we have more time, energy, and effort that we can focus on that human-to-human element of the business. So I see it as a big opportunity for those that learn to utilize technology in the right way, and especially those who are positioning themselves within a company that is truly centered around the agent first and foremost, above and beyond anything else, that's taking new technology as it develops and putting it in a spot where it's equipping us as the agent to be able to do the most with it. And that doesn't happen everywhere. I mean, there's a lot of small brokerages, mom and pop shops, a lot of places in this industry still they're doing things the way they were done 10, 20, even 30 years ago. That's not the place that someone's going to want to be positioned at if they're going to really be in a spot where they can take advantage of emerging technology and be in a strong position with it. And so something to keep in mind as well. But that's my take. Are real estate agents and brokers in danger? If anything, the marginal ones are. Our industry is full of a lot of people that do little to no production. I mean, those people may find their way out as things change. If anything gets tighter on the process as far as what's required and expected that real estate agents are doing up front to have full transparency and disclosure to their clients and get all the documents signed up front. Well, there's agents out there that they're not comfortable with that. They're probably gonna get out of the business. They're probably not doing a lot of business anyway. Same thing with technology. There's those that just are gonna fail to adapt and find their way out. And I'm okay with that. Now, if there's any of you out there who I can help position yourself better with technology or just the processes, how to go about having the right conversations up front, I'd love to know how I can help. So reach out, send me an email if that's the case. Otherwise, if you got value out of watching this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button so I can continue to share more tips and resources with you in the time ahead. And that being said, thank you for watching the video. Hope you found it insightful. And until next time, I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.